Hello, it's Todd Gifford. Here I am. I was raped last night. Today's the night. And I get raped twice last night. And here's what it is about this. I'm going to document. This is fact. Anyone who investigates will find this. Judge Rasmussen, Judge Vogt, Lane County Mental Health, the State Services, Sheriff Thomas Turner, the police in Eugene and Springfield, the state police, the FBI, everyone in Oregon. This is them using illegal military technology, covert communication, weapons all over the state. I'm telling you that every judge in this fucking state has access to it. That they're illegally spying on everybody. That they're using this technology. They can basically fucking kill people. And me in court, I've been discriminated against. I've had every little staff member watching me. There's attorneys, there's groups of attorneys working with the judges. There's public defenders working with these guys are all together. They're protecting this illegal operation. There's private attorneys involved. McGinnis, Boostman, Becky Davis, Defense Consortium people. These people have covert ties behind the scenes with the military and the CIA and shit. And I'm telling you that they're protecting Oregon, that they're easily paid off, and that everything that I went through. I mean, if you look at just the jail level, if every sheriff was involved and they're using this technology, and whoever had to do the military, the CIA had to do a show up, and suddenly their fucking jail officers would do whatever they wanted on the outside, right? And they're helping run the operation. Then all the jail staff know about it, and it travels. They're all talking to each other. Oh shit, I just committed a felony, and if I don't keep this a secret, I'm gonna go to prison, and everyone else is. And so they're all working together to cover it up, and then the judges are sitting there working on the same thing, and they're doing the same shit, protecting their court, lying about everything. And there's no mechanism of protecting from this. There's no polygraph system in place. There's no validation of your government's misconduct or the employees. And I think that there's a reason for that. It's literally a conspiratorial action that the courts had found that you can't use polygraphs because polygraphs in court are not admissible. And it's probably because they're too effective. And if you could force the government agents to take polygraphs all the time as part of the routine criminal justice process, they would be exposed for so many things. And I think that the reason the court that's the sole reason they don't allow them. And so the government agents can do what they want, cover shit up, use illegal weapons on people. They literally have a damn radar system set up to kill people and read their brainwaves, direct energy at them. I spend all night having focused energy that they like to target my sensitive spots, like in my chin, my dick, my nerves. They call it nerve compression. Wherever energy is focused, it causes swelling in your tissue, and they could manipulate and move around your tissue like a focused little beam that just creates itself in the middle of your tissue. It expands it and does things. And it could be big movements, small movements. It's them able to control energy with a nice array of little guns, whatever, light guns, whatever, focused at you from miles and miles away. Here's where their locations of broadcast usually probably are. They got one towers all over the place. They have satellite dishes. They've got 32 NRO satellites, signals, intelligence, electronic intelligence. They have these phased array antenna systems all over the country. There's one in Alaska called HARP. There's one in Puerto Rico. There's one in the Puerto Rico radar field. I don't know what that is. There's other ones too. And these you would not think that they could target you from across the country on the ground, but they can, using the sky as kind of like the deflector dish, and they can also read your energy because it acts like a gate. Kind of lets them see around land from the ground. The atmosphere acts as kind of like this big mirror up, and so Dr. Duggan was talking about that. So these little fuckers have been running this scheme in America for 60 years. The judges, the police, the little cocksucking military, our presidents, our congressmen, our governor. And if you could force these lunatics to polygraph themselves, you're fine. Out. they're all hurting Americans on purpose, and that there's no individual protection from them. There's nothing guaranteeing they're not corrupt shit, and they're using a lot of tactics that involve killing people and hurting them. And like, I've had them use energy inside my brain to cut it. I've had them repeatedly giving me concussions, or putting force with radiation in my brain and on my muscles. Maybe on my muscles to cause constriction in my brain. And I've got now a diagnosis of chronic traumatic encephalopathy from my neurologist because I've been hurt so many times from them. That's a deadly diagnosis that only occurs in people who've had hundreds of injuries to their head or their brain. Football players get it. How would I have gotten it? Well, the only couple of times I've been hurt is like this: medication at the state hospital, that'll kill you, and then staff punching me in my face and my head, and then police punching me in my face and my head, and then this weapon was used on me. And this weapon is where hundreds of thousands of injuries just repetitively all day long occurring. And so that's why I now have brain injury, and I feel pain stinging in my head, and it's never going to go away, and it's never going to get better even if they stop. I've had every signal, every memory in my brain screwed up. If you examine my brain when I die, you will probably see plaque buildup and scar tissue that is consistent with CTE. You'll see it in my brain. And then the neurologist described it perfectly. The reason, the way I was injured was that they injured me so many times, and then each injury, it gets worse, and the response to it is worse, and there's nothing you could do to fix it. And it's what they wanted me to go through. They were trying to destroy my brain and my memories and wipe my brain. They did the shock treatment of hurting me on purpose since 2011, just repetitively over and over in jail and at the state hospital. They also love to do psychic energizing, and the psychic not energizing, yeah, that is energizing, psychic driving, that's what they call it, when they want your brain to be floored every second of the day, and they're trying to get you to have reactions to their shit, so that you deliberately get in trouble. You can't live your life. You can't. I can't even focus on building my website. I can't focus on building my game servers and going to college or school because they didn't want me to. They didn't want me to. They would hurt me. They didn't want me to get a job because they wanted to hurt me. They didn't want me to be able to do anything because they wanted to hurt me. So this legal process here is corrupt, and I'm letting you know that if you polygraph Judge Rasmussen, and I want to focus on this, focus on the polygraph from the police first. Springfield Police, YouTube Police, and Sheriffs. If you get it, most of these fuckers will fail their polygraphs. And you gotta do it together. You gotta do like 20 of them, because that's how you actually get a good reading. And you say, if all these guys are failing, that means the whole system is corrupt. Second, you could go to the judges, and the judges are going to be sitting there like whimpering. They don't want to get polygraphed because they think that they're holy, mightier than shit, better than everybody else, and they think that they can kill people. They can order their deaths without any due process and refusing to investigate crimes of the government and stuff. And so they think that if you polygraph them, man, they're not going to go for that. So that's why you got to do it forcefully. Just like they're a little criminal murderer, you got to arrest their bitch ass and strap them down because they are that dangerous. I'm telling you, the Judge Rasmussen, the presiding judge of Lane County, is a dangerous psychotic fuck, killing people and working with the military and protecting people who have committed thousands and thousands of felonies. I'm talking about government agents sitting behind his protection and other judges like him around the state. The federal judges are just as bad. They're protecting the intelligence community and the law enforcement companies. That's what it is. They are the little king piece sitting on top of the intelligence community and the fucking law enforcement motherfuckers and the military fuckers. They literally have never prosecuted these motherfuckers for anything. These guys get protection. They could rape and they don't get fired. They don't get charges. They could sit there and they could beat the fuck out of the public and do whatever they want and just make it. And a simple excuse is all they gotta make. And it's all on purpose. They know it's a pattern and practice of abusing the public. And there's no protection from it. You need to have brains. And by the way, you can never take these guys, what they say out of their mouths. It doesn't mean shit. It's a cover story. It's a cover up. Every word. The only way that you know what's really happening is if you strap them down to a brain scanner and a polygraph. Because they're going to lie. They're going to lie because they're working all as a group together on this. It's all protected amongst their ranks. So how do you figure out what's really happening? You got to strap the fuckers down forcefully. And you might as well just be jamming a knife up their asses like they're Gaddafi and like there's just Saddam. You want to hang them. You want to just get rid of them. I have a theory that the United States government went to war with all these different countries and let these different people get murdered and die because they're trying to off their competitors. And so they tried to they killed Saddam. They want to kill all these different people because they're competitors that know what our government's really like. And there's a theory about 9/11 why it happened. We deliberately were pissing the terrorists off and they struck back. That's what it is. I mean, we would even use voice to skull on a terrorist. We would piss them off. And we're the reason that the Oklahoma City bombing happened. Because our government agents are going around abusing people, and the whole point of having such strong military and law enforcement is so they can abuse people and not go to prison over it. So their response to us in the public and the other countries is to kill people and hurt them, and it's just so that the government agents don't gotta go to prison. The NSA is guilty of some serious crimes. They would use their satellite technology, their directed energy weapons, to go and hurt terrorists before they even bombed us on 9/11. And that's what really happened. There's actually people before me who have said that they were terrorists just struck back, and I believe it. I believe at some point that over the past 60 years of this brute force control over society, the world domination strategy of the government has they've abused people and hurt them and sent them down these paths of having to fight back. And that's what it is. Every time someone, you have to also try to figure this out. Someone really needs to investigate this. What is the reason that someone would bomb our buildings unless they had a reason to? Do you think why? You know, and if they killed off all the top people and the terrorists, sex, whatever, who's going to be around and say what was really going on there? You would have to brain scan our fucking military agents because they still know. And the data still exists. It's just all hidden away, classified, or it's in their brains only. And you need to realize that everybody who's ever done a leak, like Bradley Manning or Edward Snowden, these people are getting just brutalized by our government. When the government, there was reasons for these leaks. They had to happen. The more leaks, the better. And the government should never be allowed to keep a secret, ever. Because they lie. Our government is violent shit. And I hope that people finally realize that's what it is. And it's all true. And everything I've said is true. And the more you look into it, it's the 10% who are like warmongers, very dangerous, of the population, and they're controlling the 90%. And you could go to political psychology. There's a political psychology website I went to. A psychologist, I found that he actually he did a behavioral profile of our presidents and various people, and found that 10% are dangerous motherfuckers controlling the rest of the 90% of the population. And they're warmongers. They're into using force on people and killing people and murdering them. And that's what we do. I mean, we invade a country and we murder them. We go peaceful attempt. We could have just left Iraq alone and nothing would have happened, probably. It would have eventually, 20 years go by, and would have developed Saddam would have died off. A couple of people just would have naturally transitioned probably to a more peaceful nation. Or if it wasn't already peaceful, it would have just been, who really knows? Because our government lied to us about everything. So, it's probably a fine country, and it was better the way it was before we invaded it. We just went and slaughtered a bunch of people there for our own purpose. It was murder. Kill off this guy that knows he's our old competitor, man. That's all it was about. Killing him off, murdering him.